She didn't have her own car, so she got rides from co-workers, and that night she was riding with a co-worker.
Someone got killed at Chevron. Across from racetrack. I'm sad. Silver Kia. That's the car that got shot up. Damn.
Patricia Shepard was the kind of woman whose presence could change the energy of an entire room. Her laugh was contagious, her smile unforgettable, and her spirit impossible to ignore. Whether she was reading her Bible, celebrating with friends, or embracing her role as a grandmother, Patricia lived life with a joy that drew people in. She wasn't looking for trouble. She wasn't involved in street drama. She was simply living. In neighborhoods across America, people often say violence has no boundaries. But sometimes the cruelest part isn't the target. It's who gets caught standing nearby. On June 4th, Shepard wasn't out looking for danger. She wasn't feuding with anyone. She wasn't running from anybody. She was simply trying to get home. Instead, Patricia unknowingly stepped into a nightmare that wasn't hers. Riding in a vehicle with two men, one of whom was allegedly being hunted by armed gunmen, she became collateral damage in someone else's war. In a world where bullets don't ask questions and violence rarely stays confined to its intended target, a beloved grandmother, friend, and God-fearing woman lost her life for a conflict she had nothing to do with. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads. After putting in a hard day's work, Patricia thought she was heading home. She was riding in a gray sedan with two other men. They stopped at a Chevron gas station along U.S. Highway 190 so the driver could purchase fuel. While the driver went inside to pay, the other passenger exited the vehicle after reportedly arranging a ride with someone else. Patricia remained in the car waiting. It was a simple moment that thousands of people experience every day without giving it a second thought. But someone else was watching. A white sedan suddenly pulled up beside the parked gray car. Within seconds, two armed suspects inside opened fire. The gunmen unleashed a barrage of bullets, firing as many as 80 rounds into the vehicle. Surveillance cameras captured the horrifying attack as gunfire erupted throughout the gas station. Customers and employees had little time to react as bullets tore through the quiet evening. When the shooting stopped, the white sedan sped away from the scene, leaving behind devastation and unanswered questions. Shepard was found inside the gray sedan suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Despite any efforts that could have been made, the injuries were too severe. She was pronounced dead at the scene, her life ending beside a gas pump while simply waiting for a ride home. Police believe the shooters mistook her for the guy who got another ride. The result was the death of an innocent woman who had absolutely nothing to do with whatever conflict was unfolding behind the scenes. Authorities later revealed that the suspects were driving a stolen vehicle that had been taken during a carjacking in Macomb, Mississippi, just days before the murder. During a press conference, investigators provided additional details about the ongoing case, but despite the shocking nature of the crime, no arrests have been announced.
In the early morning hours on today's date, it's approximately 1 a.m. this morning, a little bit after, we received calls in reference to a shooting that occurred at a local gas station. During the shooting, unfortunately, Miss Patricia Shepard was fatally wounded and ended up losing her life due to absolute disregard for anything and everything and for life. What we know is this. We know that the suspects stalked out a certain vehicle. This was not a random event. This was not just a random person that they drove upon and shot. We know that the suspects sat at Sanderson Farms. They watched the vehicle. They believed that there was another individual that we believed to be the actual target in the car. At some point, that person was in the vehicle and then exited the vehicle to ride with someone else. The suspects followed the vehicle down U.S. Highway 190 West. When they got to the gas station, the driver of the victim vehicle exited the vehicle to go inside. When that person went inside, the other car pulled up next to it, next up to that car, and began shooting. Between 70 to 80 shots were shot into this car. Believing it was somebody else in the car is what we believe. The lady in the car, Miss Patricia, who has lost her life, was an absolute innocent victim in this. She was not involved in it. It's unfortunate that that video was leaked out and the media has played it, because now the family has to actually look and see that. Just to be clear, Hammond Police Department did not release that video. Where we are is this. It's an active investigation. The vehicle that was used, we've learned, that was a vehicle involved in a carjacking overnight Tuesday night in Macomb, Mississippi. Macomb Police Department has been working closely with our detectives, and they are actively working that case over there. As of right now, we do have several leads. We're asking for anybody in the public that has information to call us. You can call 985-277-5701, which is our dispatch center, and ask for Detective Williams. Or you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-554-5245. This is an active investigation. Information is limited at this point. What we do know is there are at least 2 to 3 suspects that we are actively pursuing, that we actively have leads on who we believe they are, and we will continue to work this case as best as we possibly can, and we will not rest until the scumbags like this go to jail. For them to roll up and kill an innocent woman in a car because they thought it was somebody else. We do believe there's some motives behind it, but we're not going to discuss that at this time. That will all come out in due time. But as of right now, we are kind of limited as our detectives are working this case and the rest of their team. They're going to continue to develop leads, and we will give more information as it's available. Does anybody have any questions?
How old was
Miss Patricia was, I believe, 50 years old.
you said that they were still in the car? Do you guys have like an age roundup of how old you think?
Now, at this time, we're not going to give that information out. That is our theory. That is what we believe happened. We believe that they were targeting an individual that they assumed was in the car, that was actually in the car earlier, just prior to this incident, and had actually gotten out prior to going to the gas station. But as far as information or further information on the suspects, no, we're not going to give out anything further than what we have right now.
I have a clarifying question. The Macomb, Mississippi carjacking with this car that was was a stolen vehicle. Is that your understanding?
It was. This vehicle was a stolen vehicle in a carjacking in Macomb, Mississippi on Tuesday.
And also, 70, 80 shots is so many. And at least the gas station said they're scared to go back. What would your message be directly to those people?
Listen, the citizens of Hammond can feel safe that they know that this was not a random act of violence. This was not just somebody randomly who was getting shot at. This was a targeted incident. They believed they were going after a specific person, is what our belief is. We believe that the evidence so far shows that. This is not just a random act of violence. This is an absolute target going after what they thought a specific person in the vehicle.
Have a message for suspects or just anybody in general thinking about doing crime again?
We're going to catch them. We're going to catch these suspects. We're going to actively work this scene. And listen, I could call them dirtbags, scumbags, and all kind of other different things and names. But let's be honest. These are the people that are affecting our community. These are the trash bags that are destroying communities across our country every single day. It's the job of law enforcement. It's the job of these detectives, our patrol officers, and everybody that's on the streets every single day to keep our community safe. And we do a good job of doing that in Hammond. It's unfortunate that this incident occurred. But once again, it's It's an isolated incident, a target incident for this specific person who they thought was in the car. It was unfortunate that Miss Patricia needed a ride home and chose to get a ride home with this person, and she was in the wrong place, unfortunately, at the wrong time. We are following up all leads. We do not believe the driver has any criminal involvement in this matter at all. You know, I don't have the exact amount of time, but we know for a fact, due to some surveillance videos, that the car was there prior to the subjects getting off. They were employees of a local business. When they got off of work at the local business, they were then followed and tailed by the suspect vehicle.
Said that they took off your I-55. Is there any indication?
That's all part of the investigation that we're not going to release at this time. Like I said, we are actively, looking at surveillance videos and different things and to our resources that we have. But yeah, so they definitely left off towards I-55, and we do have some further information that our detectives are actively working and following up on at this time.
Including the driver, how many shooters?
So we know for a fact that at least 2 subjects shot. Like I said, it is an ongoing investigation. Look, guys, we're not going to give out much more information at this point. It is still fluid. Our detectives have been working overnight, all night long on this case. They've developed multiple leads. They followed up on things. We've been as far as Macomb, Mississippi, to get information from the car or the people that were carjacked over there. Our guys are going to continue to work day in and day out until we can locate the suspects, identify the suspects, and get them in custody.
Today, Patricia's family is left grieving a loss that never should have happened.
50-year-old Patricia Shepard just needed a ride home.
She didn't have her own car, so she got rides from co-workers, and that night she was riding with a co-worker.
Hammond police say the 2 stopped at a gas station on the way. It was then that authorities say at least 2 gunmen with AR-style weapons shot 70 to 80 shots into their car, which sat at the gas pump with Shepard inside, killing her.
It don't feel real. I just don't understand. I just feel like those guys had to be possessed with something. I feel like it's demonic. I don't know. I just don't understand it.
Police say it was a case of mistaken identity and that the suspects were targeting someone who'd gotten out of the car before it reached the gas station, stalking the car from where Shepard worked.
This is not just a random act of violence. This is an absolute target going after what they thought a specific person in the vehicle.
Shepard's sister, Annette Smith, calls in police to keep her family updated, saying she found out the details of her sister's killing from a press conference. She said she hopes police arrest the suspects quickly.
The longer they're on the streets, somebody else gonna get hurt, because obviously they didn't get their target. So I'm praying for the person that they were after, that nothing happens to them.
Smith described Shepard as a reserved person who loved her family, the Bible, and giving to charity.
She got a Bible that you could tell she used it. It's worn, the cover of the outside cover is missing. She was in her Bible, and she prayed all the time.
From here, Smith says, she's relying on family in her grief.
We just gonna be there for each other whenever somebody is weak, and we just try to give them strength. I don't know. This is hard.
Meanwhile, an entire community remains shaken by the idea that someone could unleash dozens of rounds into a parked vehicle without regard for who might be inside. One reckless act, 80 shots. One innocent life stolen forever. May Patricia Shepard rest in peace.